Yo, Pierre, you wanna come out?
Ice up. Ice what?
Whoa, whoa, baby, poke it out, whoa, poke it out, poke it out.
Alright, so I've been seeing a lot of questions flurrying around everywhere. People asking on Instagram, people asking on Discord, people asking everywhere. Some of you may understand the situations that we're in right now. Some of you may not. The playoffs this year, if you don't understand, I don't blame you. I didn't understand too much until doing all of the research required to make a video like this, because the playoffs this year is a huge cluster. The most BS tiebreakers and all of this crap coming out of nowhere. It's just like, man, if only we handled business against Atlanta and San Francisco. But we didn't, so we're in this situation where we need to look at the playoff scenarios and see where the Saints can end up this season. So, as you know, we're sitting on a very good 12-3 record, which is sadly a three-way tie between us, Green Bay, and San Francisco. So, what do you think is going to happen? Before the video starts, go ahead and let me know down in the comment section below, because it's pretty interesting to see what you guys think. But yeah, with that being said, the Saints are still the third seed. Because of the tie, though, the Saints can end up anywhere from 1 to the 3 seed after the Week 17 matchups are all said and done. I know it's difficult for more casual fans to understand and grasp playoff scenarios, so today we'll be going through all possible seeding positions for the New Orleans Saints. Let's go ahead and start by breaking down the advantage, or breaking down what each seed offers. Wow, I am stumbling already. First seed, we get a first round bye and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. That means we will not be playing a road game no matter what if we get first seed. The second seed, we get a first round bye, but we still face the likelihood of traveling. Look at it like the Rams coming to New Orleans to play in the NFC Championship last year. We would travel if the first seed is still in the playoffs. You know, everyone knows how that works. Third seed, we host the 6th seed, which is the lowest possible in the wild card round. We get no bye week. So with that explained, let's go ahead and get into the Saints situation. So there are three scenarios that can happen here. We can end up with the first seed, we can end up with the 2nd seed, or we can stay where we are in the 3rd seed. I'm going to go ahead and break down a way we can get each of those. So to achieve the 1st seed, this is easily the lengthiest, we need a lot of things to go right for this to happen. We have to start with the Saints taking care of business against Carolina next week. If we don't take care of business against Carolina, the 1st seed, none of that matters. After that, the Saints would need the Seattle Seahawks to beat the San Francisco 49ers at home, as the 49ers are currently the 2nd seed. So we have to hope for a sweep from the Seattle Seahawks. They'd be helping us out twice in this scenario. Hopefully, they can get it done. Do you remember that Week 3 game in which the New Orleans Saints smacked down on the Seattle Seahawks? That victory over Seattle and, putting in their loss to the Cardinals last week gives us a full game advantage over Seattle. So, yeah, we would need the Seattle Seahawks to beat the San Francisco 49ers and the New Orleans Saints to win. After that, the least likely part of this scenario would come into play. We would need the David Blough-led Detroit Lions to take down the Green Bay Packers, who are currently the 1st seed in the NFC. The Packers are probably, in my opinion, the worst seed in the top 3. I think the 49ers, as they showed before, would beat the living piss out of the Packers, and I think the Saints would do a good job against them as well. Take away Devontae Adams and stop the run game, they have nobody else. But I still don't think that without Matthew Stafford, the Detroit Lions could get the job done. With Matthew Stafford, though, I would be confident that they could. We've seen the early matchup between the Packers and Lions, which should have been a Detroit win, but was completely skewed by bad calls, the illegal hands to the face everywhere, Trey Flowers. Yeah, we all seen that, but I'm not confident that's going to happen. So a quick recap: to get the 1st seed, the New Orleans Saints would first need to beat the Carolina Panthers. We would then need the Seattle Seahawks to beat the San Francisco 49ers, and then we would need the Detroit Lions to beat the Green Bay Packers. So that is the only way the Saints can get the 1st seed. The 2nd seed, though, is a bit more achievable and a lot more controllable in the sense that we don't need 85 other teams to win. It's more simple, simply because it's a lot more achievable. So you know how I told you that if the Packers and 49ers lose, we get 1st seed? It's essentially that, but to get second seed, only one of the teams needs to lose. If the 49ers win and the Packers lose, the pecking order would be 1 San Fran, 2 New Orleans, 3 Green Bay. If the 49ers lose and the Packers win, it would be 1 Green Bay, 2 New Orleans, and 3 Seattle. So the second seed is definitely more achievable than the first. The first, we would need everything to fall our way. The Packers to drop a game to the Detroit Lions, who are 3-10-1 right now, or 3-11-1, one of the two. Either way, a very bad record, so it's a bit difficult to, go into next week feeling confident that we will have the first seed. But like I said before, if we get the second seed, we'll still host a playoff game, which is probably the most important in my opinion, which is the divisional round. I think hosting the divisional round is the most important out of the two. The Saints really won't have their playoff identity yet in the divisional round. If we do get second seed, we get that bye week. This will give us a chance to warm up in an easy environment like the Dome. The New Orleans Saints, I'll give you the stats for it in a minute, are a very good road team. I'm not scared of us traveling, but I'll get into that in a minute. For the third seed, which we are currently at right now, if the Saints, 49ers, and Packers all win, the Saints will be stuck at third seed. So if we get what we need to get done, but the Packers and the 49ers get what they need to get done too, we're stuck at third seed. Luckily for New Orleans, no matter what they do, they're guaranteed the third seed spot. So even if we drop a game, there is no team that could just come in and take our place because of how good our record is. Sadly, though, that's still less than ideal. The NFC is so stacked this year, so you better believe that home field advantage will be absolutely insane. If the Saints get the second seed, like I said, we'll host the divisional round and travel for the NFC Championship if we make it that far, which is actually what I would prefer. The Saints are 6-2 at home and 6-1 on the road. They can handle business anywhere. The New Orleans Saints have shown the ability to get it done no matter what environment they're in. It's very uplifting to see that, judging by the fact that some teams' identities are strictly at home. It's looked like the defense for the New Orleans Saints has played a lot better on the road. They're not really themselves at home, which is a very interesting thing to say because it's usually not like that. So if you guys stuck through the whole thing, I think, in my honest opinion, the second seed is the most achievable and genuinely the one I would most rather end up with. I think the Saints giving those cards would deal them very well. Hosting a divisional game, moving on, and traveling for the NFC Championship which would likely be either San Fran or Green Bay. I think we could get it done. I really do. It's just this year's playoffs. I'm sorry for those that are struggling to understand it because I feel your pain. I don't blame you. It shouldn't be this complicated, but with tiebreakers everywhere, people are wondering why Green Bay is ahead of us when we have the same record. Green Bay has a better conference record, so they've beaten more teams in the NFC than we have. They have a better record in the NFC than we have, so the playoffs this year is a huge mess. I'm sorry for everyone that's, sticking through this and trying to figure it out. It's a bit difficult, but I promise you we'll all get through it together. So, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think the Saints will end up with the first, second, third seed? What do you think is most ideal? Obviously, I think a lot of us would say the first seed simply because of the benefits you get from being a first seed team, but I think the Saints are a team that have shown to overcome adversity this year, giving something like this thrown at them, a chip on their shoulder, knowing that they would be in the first seed if they just handled business against San Francisco, just handled business against Atlanta, who we definitely should have beaten the first time around. I think that this would be the chip on their shoulder they need to get through the playoffs, to go to the NFC Championship game and upset, or not even upset, but beat whoever they have to travel to if they do have to travel. It could be someone that's a lower seed than that. I don't know. The playoffs is a huge mess. This is just the basics of it, though. Like I said, give you another quick recap if you need one. First seed, Saints need to win, Packers need to lose, 49ers need to lose. Don't think it's going to happen, but it's there. Second seed, Saints need to win, Packers need to lose, or 49ers need to lose. Neither of those, it doesn't matter which one does. Just one of them needs to lose, and we'll get second seed. And then third seed, as you know, it's just if the 49ers and Packers both win, which is literally so less than ideal, but it's whatever. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to let me know down in the comment section below what you think of this playoff situation, these playoff scenarios, what you think about what's going to happen coming into these last final weeks. It's week 17 now, boys. It's the end of the road. This is where everything really comes into play. This is where everything matters. Forget about all of the losses we've faced. Forget about all of the injuries we've been plagued with. Forget about all of the bad cards we've been dealt by the officials. Nothing matters until now. It's playoff time, so let's hope that these Saints can get it done. Coming after next week, we'll figure out a schedule if we do get a bye. If we don't, we'll be going right into a game, but I'll let you know what I'm going to be posting. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you boys in the next one.
Ballin' like Barkley, wrist so sparkly, internet surfing, feel like iCarly.